What's up, guys? Clayford08 back with another episode of Market Watch Mondays. This will be week 3 of my new series on this, and I'm really excited to talk about today, although at the same time, I wanted to address quite a few things that are going on in the market right now. The first thing that I want to do, though, is talk about the coins that we discussed in last week's episode. So that's going to be the first thing that I do every single week before I talk about, new coins that I'm going to be looking at over the following week. All right, so let's just jump right into... All right, the first coin that we discussed last week was actually Bitcoin, and unfortunately, Bitcoin has not done as well as I thought it would. Of course, we're going to talk more about the entire market later, but Bitcoin, I thought, because it was trading a little sideways for a day, that it could potentially break up. It did not. It broke down, and there were a couple of swings that you could have potentially made a little bit of money off of. And hopefully you did, but as a whole, this coin has done extremely poorly over the past week. And unfortunately that happens sometimes, but that is the way that it is. So that is the first coin that we talked about last week. The next coin that we discussed last week was Ethereum Classic. Now, I still have a lot of faith that this coin is going to do well, and if you look, this coin had some excellent swings over the past week where you could have made quite a bit of profit off of these, so hopefully you did see those dips and bought in low and sold high at those highs, because just look at how parabolic this went for a couple of hours. That's huge growth right there that could have amounted to quite a bit of money if you had invested at this low and then sold at that high. So hopefully you made something out of nothing on Ethereum Classic, because this one has also been in a downtrend, and again, we'll be talking about the market as a whole in a little while, but this is another one that didn't perform as well as I had hoped it would. Of course, I am a swing trader, so this is kind of a swing trader's dream, but I want to make money over time as well, so. Alright, next up is Litecoin. Talked about Litecoin last week and it potentially doing incredible things, and lo and behold, it did. We saw a huge high that we have never seen before. So this was a record high for Litecoin. And right now, it dipped down a little bit with the rest of the market, shot back up yesterday, or 2 days ago. And it's kind of been trading sideways a little bit, a little bit of ups and downs, but nothing too dramatic over the last couple of days with this specific coin. I think this coin still has a lot of potential as well to go further. But that is that. And then the last coin that we talked about last week was XEM. Now, right after I wrapped up my video last week, XEM had a huge breakout. And it went parabolic literally after I wrapped up my video last week. So that was pretty cool. Hopefully some of you guys saw the video and were like, hey, that might not be a bad idea, and bought and sold at that high right there. If not, you would have been dealing with the rest of the market on this one as well. And that kind of leads me into what I wanted to really discuss in today's video, is the market as a whole. So we can look at charts all day and say, hey, this has happened before, where Bitcoin let's just go to the Bitcoin chart, guys. GDAX. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Alright, so if you're looking at the chart and you're like, alright, anytime Bitcoin has hit a record high, it's always corrected itself. And yes, we can definitely say that about the chart right now. Let's take a look at it. But if you notice, it's a little bit different this time. We've seen the chart basically try to continue its uptrend. You know, the support versus resistance has really been a factor over the past few weeks with Bitcoin. And right now we're seeing a lot of people exit the market because they are scared of what is going to happen next month with BIP 148, SegWit 2X in the coming months. People are really scared that there's going to be a second chain that is created by this. They're really scared that it's going to cause a fork that essentially creates two separate coins. And that is a fundamental reason that the rest of the market is bleeding, because Bitcoin is the alpha in this market. Anytime Bitcoin bleeds, the rest of the market is going to bleed, and we see that occurring. And the thing is when Bitcoin does bleed, the rest of the market bleeds 2 times over. At least that's what I've seen in the past, and that's what we're seeing today. The rest of the market is down like 20%, and Bitcoin is down about 8% today. So that's what we're seeing. I think when it comes to BIP 148 and a potential hard fork, I think it's really important to remember that this community has been through a lot over the past few years, and it has still been growing. Like it hasn't stopped. It's had incredible moves over the past year that have not stopped. I don't think that this is going to stop the growth of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as a whole. It might put a damper on trading for a little while, but we're going to come through this as a community, and we're going to see that it wasn't that big of a deal to begin with. But the thing is we do need to recognize that there is the possibility of a hard fork and a separate chain that could be created by this, because if the miners don't agree on signaling SegWit, and there's still a large portion of miners that are using the old chain, then it could potentially create a split that could cause 2 separate chains, which would essentially be 2 separate coins in that aspect. So keep that in mind, guys. If that does happen and you had coins to begin with, you would technically have coins on both chains, but obviously one of those cryptocurrencies would remain as Bitcoin and go on to do better than the other, essentially. We saw that with Ethereum last year during the DAO hack. Whenever Ethereum broke into 2 separate chains, one became Ethereum Classic, one stayed with the Ethereum Foundation. And so I don't want to discuss any coins going into the next week, because I really think that we need to keep a close eye on the Bitcoin market itself, along with the Ethereum market. These 2 coins are really causing the rest of the market to go up and down with these specific blockchains. So let's keep an eye on these. Let's keep a close eye on these. See what happens in the coming weeks with this soft fork, and hopefully everything goes as planned, but even if it doesn't, just remember that we are very resilient and we will go on to do bigger and better things as time progresses. So just keep that in mind, guys, over the next week, over the next coming weeks, over the next months. We might see a bearish market over the next few weeks, next few months, but it is all going to be okay. Now, with that being said, I do need to tell you guys that I am not a financial advisor. I can't tell you guys what to do with your money, but at the same time, I've been in this game for quite a while and I've seen a lot of the things that have gone on. And, I was there for Mt. Gox, I was there for Cripsy, and I'm still here today, and I know that everything is going to work itself out. So that's all I wanted to say today, guys. Hopefully you guys can still have a little faith to hold and not sell off all of your coins, because if you do, you're going to be upset in the long run. I guarantee it. Hope to see you guys next week in Market Watch Monday. Wednesday, we have Pimp My Portfolio again. I'm excited to bring you guys that. If you haven't already submitted your portfolio to me, feel free to do so on Discord. I have my Discord channel in the description below, and I would love to hear from you guys on that. Hopefully I can get you guys into one of these Wednesdays for Pimp My Portfolio and give you guys a second opinion on your portfolio itself. Also, if you just want to come and hang out in Discord, we've got a lot of people in there now that are talking about the market on a daily basis, talking about cryptocurrencies, life, liberty, pursuit, and happiness. We even have some gamers in the channel that like to talk about gaming. So if those things interest you, come and join us in Discord. We're growing, and it's a lot of fun. All right, guys. See you on Wednesday. See you tomorrow, actually. I don't know why I'm saying Wednesday. I'll see you guys tomorrow on another episode of whatever I feel like. Clayford08 out.